All right, bands out there. Well, all right. It's time for another This Week in Fragrance. There are a bunch of new fragrances coming out that you guys need to know about, including a new Prada Rossa, a new Spicebomb, a new Aaro Chrome, a whole bunch of new Montblanc and Manera releases, and the Varvados as well. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like there have been more fragrances released at this point in time of the year than at the same point in time last year. Again, I don't know if that's just me, and I'm not going to go back and make a big spreadsheet with like every release from last year and this year through beginning of April, but it feels like we've had more. And there are a bunch of releases that have been announced this year, some that have been announced for a minute that I still haven't been able to get my hands on, so hopefully soon. I'll have linked in the description where there's going to be more information on the fragrances that I talked to you guys about here today. So if you want more info on them, you want to look at the pretty pictures, the note breakdowns, the write-ups, all that stuff, it's going to be linked in the description. Let's get things kicked off by taking a look at the new Varvados. This is John Varvados XX Intense. And as of when I'm filming this video, it is already available at Macy's in the US. I have ordered it, but it has not come in yet. When it does come in though, I'll do a first impressions on the fragrance, and I will probably put that on the Extra channel. So if you haven't subscribed to that yet, you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's Extra Gents Scents. I do a lot of other fragrance stuff there, first impressions, reviews, lists, just the whole thing. All right, John Varvados XX Intense is the new eau de parfum from John Varvados, inspired by the raw energy and electrifying intensity of rock and roll. This edgy and bold fragrance is for men who live life at full volume. Pretty much everything with Varvados seems to gravitate around rock and roll. They're just about that. Yeah, Varvados, that's their jam. Step into the spotlight with JVXX Intense, this rich, pulsating, and seductive twist of Varvados XX Original is injected with new fragrance notes for a whole new level of intensity. The blend opens with the spicy yet enticing aroma of ginger flower, fused with the zest of bergamot and laced with verbena. The heart is comprised of a blast of masculine florals, damascone, cyclamen, and geranium to further ensure the rugged masculine energy. Damascone. I think I pronounced that correctly. The robust blend rests on a strong base of coffee beans, tonka bean, and cedarwood for an enticing yet energetic scent trail. So again, top of ginger flower, bergamot, verbena, heart of damascone, cyclamen, and geranium, and a base of roasted coffee beans, tonka bean, and cedarwood. Or cyclamen. Cyclamen? Cyclamen. I really should brush up on my floral pronunciation. So as I said, this one is available at Macy's already. It's a little bit more expensive than the typical Varvados fragrances at full retail. It's a little bit higher than pretty much anything else that you're going to see at Macy's right now. That being said, this is a note breakdown that I do find really intriguing. I love coffee and fragrances in a big, big way. So I'm hoping that the roasted coffee beans here play a pretty prominent part. I'm interested to see how those floral notes that they have in the mid work with the scent. And the ginger flower verbena bergamot opening also seems intriguing to me because that screams to me as more of a green opening. May not be, obviously, but when you look at the bottle, it's just frankly pretty cool looking. I don't know that that's what I would expect. The bottle looks neat. I mean, the bottle looks like cracked rock, like obsidian with magma flowing under it. Really big fan of that. And with Varvados, they are a house that typically has really good quality. The knock on them has typically been performance, that they don't have the greatest performing fragrances, not the longest lasting, the most powerful, but sometimes that's a little bit overblown. They do have some fragrances that are perfectly fine as far as performance goes, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But yeah, they typically have good quality. They smell nice. Even the ones that get ragged on a little bit typically actually smell pretty good. And Varvados is not quite as popular in the mainstream as most other, if you want to call them bigger name fragrance houses are, which means that hypothetically there should be less people wearing this one than say a new Dior or something like that. So yeah, there we go. XX Intense coming out really soon. Or it's already out. What am I saying? It's already out. Before we hop to the next fragrance, here are some codes you can use to save money at a bunch of different websites. You can also find these codes linked in the description below. So if you shop at any of these different websites, which cover pretty much everything from niche to designer to clone fragrances, use those codes to save yourself some money. All right, next up, let's talk about the new Spicebomb. This one is called Dark Leather. And this is one that has been talked about a little bit behind the scenes since January, but nobody had any pictures or anything like that. And now we do. That being said, there's not a full note breakdown at this point. Obviously, it's called dark leather, so I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume it's gonna have leather as a very prominent note in the fragrance. Now, they've had leather in other fragrances across Spicebomb. For example, Spicebomb Infrared Eau de Parfum has leather as a note in the scent, but I don't think anybody is smelling Spicebomb Infrared Eau de Parfum and going, wow, what a great leather fragrance. It's there, but that's not really the focal point, right? And with this one, obviously, or you would think, obviously, it's going to be. And by putting dark in the name, dark leather, you would expect it to be something that's got a real punch to it, right? Which, again, this being a Spicebomb, that would make sense. So the question is, how far are they going to take the leather? Is this going to be a leather fragrance that really is a pop in the face? You know, something like Gucci Guilty Absolute? I'm not saying to smell like Gucci Guilty Absolute, but is it going to be taken that far? Or do they rein it in, keep it pretty wearable, but still make that leather very prominent part of the fragrance? My expectation would be that. My expectation would be that they keep it more wearable instead of just going full bore with something that's not going to connect with too many people, but the people it does connect with, we're going to think it's, you know, fantastic. I'm guessing they're not going to do that. I'm expecting this to be, in typical Spicebomb fashion, a little bit more sweet leather, you know, something that has a little more of an appealing facet to it to the masses. So what they have listed right now, and this is from Fragrancity's Instagram, so that's FRAGRANCITY, is leather and tonka. But then there is a question mark after that, so maybe? When there's more information about this one out, I will let you guys know and do an update with the full note breakdown and all of that stuff, but be aware that it is coming. Next, let's talk really quickly about the Manceras and Montals, then we'll do the Luna Rossa. So here are the names of these fragrances that have been announced over the past little while. Montal has Oud Full Roses, that is Oud Fool Roses, so Oud Full Roses. Beast Love, and then Bubble Forever. Sometimes these names for Montal, it's just like, oh, all right, dude, Bubble Forever, let's go. And Beast Love could be, to some people, maybe a questionable name choice, like Beauty and the Beast.
You'll join me for dinner. That's not a request.
Beast Love, the new fragrance by Montal, is a hidden gem in a faraway castle surrounded by the awe-inspiring nature. The alluring blend uses the luscious pear and plum, while Sicilian bergamot adds an awakening, refreshing burst of energy. Amber and musk collide with vanilla pods to strengthen the blend and lend it solidity, as well as longevity. Dominated by nature, this magical forest is adorned with aromatic Turkish roses and dry Haitian vetiver, while leather in the background sings solo, a blend that it is impossible to resist. So this one says pear, plum, bergamot, leather, cedar, Turkish rose, vetiver, vanilla pods, tonka, musk, and amber. As with pretty much all Montals, it's up in the air. You know, some Montal fragrances, you get them and they smell actually fantastic. Great power, good quality, easy wearing, just some really good stuff. Other times you get Montal fragrances that are just screechingly, synthetically aggressive to the point that when you smell them, you're just like, I've got both. I have some Montal fragrances where I spray them on and I'm like, dang, nice. Other ones spray them on and it's just like, gag me. So hopefully this one is going to be on the good side. And then the new Manceras, Eternal Wood and Amberful. And I'm going to talk quickly about Eternal Wood because this is one that I really want. Eternal Wood is what happens when you take too many blue pills.
You take the blue pill.
That's a really bad joke. Introducing Eternal Wood, a sensorial journey that transports you from San Cristobal to the Chihuahuan deserts and immerse yourself in the allure of Palo Alto. A new elevating experience that heightens the senses. The spicy blend opens with a touch of roasted Laotian oud that infiltrates the senses with the invigorating duo of licorice and red saffron. The heart is composed of woody, resinous nuances of Palo Santo, white copal resin, and cashmere wood. I'm not sure what that is. For an elevated intensity, the robust blend nestles on sweet toffee, cozy tonka beans, along with a woodsy touch of amber and oak moss. So with this one being wood heavy, but then having resins, which you would assume is going to give you a nice sweetness and warmth, melded together with that brown toffee and tonka, and then the red saffron off the top, assuming that's also going to come across in a sweet, spicy kind of way. To me, sounds really intriguing. And Manera fragrances typically are a little bit easier to pull off, just in terms of versatility, than Montal's. So that one is the one I'm looking forward to the most out of the ones that have been announced here recently. Let's talk about that new Prada. So this is Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum. More Luna Rossa Ocean. So pumped. I like Luna Rossa Ocean, don't get me wrong, I'm just playing, but at the same time, you can tell what Prada is doing here, what they're focusing on, and it is this, Luna Rossa Ocean. Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum allows a fascinating dive into the blue depths of the ocean and reflects the intensity of the seas. The latest creation from Prada is a unique fragrance that contrasts extreme sophistication with particularly aromatic freshness and sensuality. The new Le Parfum sets strong accents with its bergamot accord and is completed with vetiver and elegant iris essences, a unique fragrance that contrasts, they already said this, extreme sophistication with particularly aromatic freshness and sensuality, just to really drive it home. So the full note breakdown here is bergamot and lemon off the top, iris and saffron in the mid, vetiver and oak wood in the base. Compare that to the Eau de Parfum, which had grapefruit off the top, and then wood and incense in the mid, amber extreme and vanilla in the base. So quite a different note breakdown, really, when you look at that. Still has citrus off the top, but a different take on citrus. Bergamot and lemon, actually quite different from grapefruit, how they come across. And then, of course, the iris and saffron there in the mid really catches my attention. Oak wood can sometimes have a bit of a smokiness to it, so it'll be interesting to see how much that plays into the scent, like if that really does come across with a bit of an incensiness, which would make sense considering there's frankincense in the mid of Ocean Eau de Parfum. Out of everything that we are going to talk about here today, this is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. Yes, I know it's another Luna Rossa Ocean flanker, but I like everything that this has. Vetiver, oakwood, yeah, I like that a lot. Iris, saffron, bergamot, lemon, sure. Lead me into that iris, yeah. All right, let's end with Aaro Chrome United. I know this is what everyone has been waiting. Seems like there's a lot of Chrome, like re-release type stuff going on right now. Elevate day by day with the Aaro Chrome United, a woody and fresh fragrance inspired by a trip to the sea with friends, the strong bond of friendship, and the fun moments that make life more relaxing and enjoyable. The fragrance is dedicated to all men who like to have fun and enjoy time with true friends, and is ideal for everyday life, work, sports, nature, and going to the gym. So basically just everything, I guess. This one's very simple. Bergamot, lavender, vetiver. Aaro keeping true to what they've been doing here lately for the most part, which is dumbed down note breakdowns. So this is a re-release, reimagining of Chrome United, which came out in 2013 originally. That one had a full note breakdown of bergamot, coriander, Sichuan pepper, violet leaf, black tea, white musk, and cedar. So you will notice there that the note breakdowns are indeed different. So I guess instead of a real re-release, it would be a reimagining, right? Using the same name, a different bottle, a different note breakdown. Because lavender is nowhere to be found in the original, nor is vetiver. So yeah. Now, as is the case with most Aaro Chromes, just about all Aaro Chromes, this is going to be one that most of you are going to want to wait for to hit discounters. And if it does turn out to be a pretty decent release, pick it up from the discounter of your choice, because Chrome fragrances get marked off quite heavily, and you're probably not going to be as happy if you pay full retail, and 2 months later it's at a discounter for half price what you paid. The original United was not anything insane in terms of like people really being hyped for it, but for the price that you could get it for, it was a serviceable cheapie, and I think you can still actually find that for a cheap price. I'll check real quick. Yeah, you can still find it super cheap, like $28 for a 100 ml. So the original you can still find, no worries. I didn't think that it had disappeared from everywhere, which is kind of funny that it's now you know, re-released, but whatever. Obviously, I know that the discount market, discount websites, is not the same as full retail, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, the original, for that price, you know, 28 bucks, 100 mils, it's good for spring, good for summer, a nice daytime scent. Pretty clean, pretty fresh, kind of what you would expect from a chrome flanker. Does it smell like supernatural? No, but it's fine. And now there is a new one coming out, which might be better. So there we go, guys. Those are the fragrances coming out, the ones that you have to look forward to. Let me know in the comments which one you're looking forward to the most. Like I said, for me, it was Rossa. And then after that, Spicebomb. Then after that, Manera. And then after that, not chrome. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.